Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Count Christo. What are we doing? This is the Sun No Sets campaign. We're playing as Great Britain. And what am I up to? I'm at war with Great Britain and Russia. Right, because they wanted me to return California, because for some reason they have a core on California, which is silly and ahistorical, but oh well. And we're going to take a New York treaty port, liberate Louisiana and New England, just because that seems funny. So, oh yes, and Russia is also involved and wants to liberate Malta. We're finally making some headway on this front. Are we winning this fight? Oh, and we've unlocked pump jacks. Cool. What do we want to do next? I'm probably just going to keep going through most of these, although steam turbine would be good. So we could get coal-fired power plants. Because we are struggling with power generation still. I would like bicycle messengers though. Yeah, let's get bicycle messengers first. This one's spreading to us anyway, I think. Right, so are we winning these fights? Yes, we have way better stats than them. Nice, so we're sinking a bunch of convoys. There are some Russians on this front, I think. Yeah, but their supply situation is dire, so anytime we come across them, they should just instantly lose. Yeah, more convoys sunk, more convoys sunk. Excellent. And what's this war between Italy and France? Italy's who I might play next, by the way. I think that'd be a fun campaign. What are we up to? It's the French war against Marrakesh, and Italy threw in their weight with Marrakesh. Sorry, Morocco, not Marrakesh. It's to conquer Marrakesh. Interesting. Our loyalist numbers still looking pretty healthy. Radicals slowly going down. Nice. Yeah. No longer having any discrimination. So we'll get a serious advantage on radical numbers for that. And yeah, just launching attack after attack against the US here. Should be able to push their war exhaustion into negative. Sorry, their war enthusiasm into negative. Yeah, that was an instant win against the Russians. I wouldn't rage at. Oh! And the Swarai have launched an uprising against us. Where are they? Where am I even colonizing these days? Here they are. Oh, it's these guys, right? The ones we backed against France. That was pretty funny. We've got Portugal sending 8,000 men, and they have no men. So I guess I'll just let Portugal handle it. Seems good to me. Another instant win? Yes, indeed. Nice. And we have some free building capacity. Oh good, we've unlocked anarchism. I like it when it plays like a big bit of music for that. Just like, yes! Anarchism! Can't auto-expand gold mines? Maybe because they're all already at full? Yeah. You should use steam donkeys, by the way. Make sure we're at the highest level of everything for gold mines, because they're going to churn out cash for us. Ah, we've got automatic irrigation as well, right. Needs more mechanists. There's not enough qualifications, but that's okay because, you know, those labourers and stuff can just get promoted. And this is apparently going to make us fat stacks. It will increase the cost of engines, but that's okay because, you know, I'm making the engines. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to make us staggering quantities. Look at our freaking GDP skyrocket when we make those shifts. Very nice. Oh, and steam-powered threshing machines. I think I'm not going to do this. Well, I mean, some of them I think it's already going to make a profit, but I feel like I shouldn't do this on all of them because we're going to have a crippling shortage of steam engines, I feel like. Just engines, rather. There's no distinguishing between steam engines and just engines in this game. That one thinks it will make a profit, as does that. That one's already on it. Coffee? Yeah. Okay. Rubber... Fishing, no refrigeration. Okay. Oh, and rubber, you should be publicly traded. And silk, you should be publicly traded. And dye, you should be publicly traded. And cotton, you should be publicly traded. And all of these should be an auto expansion. I'm very surprised that we have any spare construction capacity with all the auto expansion we have set up. You would have thought we'd be using it all up. How is tech spread, by the way? Aha, we are below the cap. Okay, well let's grow the Leinster and Wales universities then. Winning there, no surprise. And yeah, we could go to field hospitals, but it would cost just a stupid amount of money. That would give us a good recovery rate, but we're not going to do that. Railways. Oh yes, we can go to steel caverns, which gives more transportation but less infrastructure, which I think I am going to do, because we're using lots of transportations right now. And I would like the... Ooh, this would get us loads of extra money. The government run them. But way less capitalist employment. I think I'd rather do that. Do I want to auto-expand these? The problem is they're subsidized, so... Yeah, we need more engines. Let's get another motor industry thing set up. New Brunswick. Industry in the New World? Unheard of. And it's all privately owned still? Yeah, because we can't get to electric engines yet. Give me a East Anglian engine thing. And we need a lot. So go for it on engine production for a second. Okay. And then actually on tech. Will this give me electric trains? Yeah, electric engines for motor industries. I think we're going to get that next. Cool. And in terms of goods, yeah, engines are staggeringly expensive. Glass is getting up there as well. They're not auto-expanding. Let's set up another one so we can get some more throughput bonuses. But we're also going to need a lot more railways. Previously I've been a bit conservative in building railways, but let's just go for it. Give me a mad, absolutely mad railway expansion. I do not want to be seeing all of this struggling with market access because of lack of railways. It's going to cost 500,000 a week to build all these railways, but we'll get there. And yeah, what are we're now short on goods to build the railways. Is that hardwood? No. Engines? Maybe? Yeah. We're going to need more engines. Goldfield's depleted, that's unfortunate, but oh well. Still winning the fights here against the US. Surely we should be able to push them into negative war support. They should get minus 1.78, but they don't seem to be. And yeah, I am going to enforce all of this on you, America. So even if I have to push you to negative 100 war support, it shall be done. Embargo. Austria embargoing Prussia. No surprise there. Did this war happen? No, they backed down. Okay, good. And yeah, we're colonizing away here. Oh, into a new area down here. Good. And this area, I think we established as a civilian area. Yeah. Anywhere else I could be colonizing? Nowhere except Anu. It's called Anu, right? This island? Anu, yeah. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly, of course. How long on those railways? 15 weeks. And then we should see an improvement to the finances. And yeah, just using one of the armies to push forward. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I mean, it seems to be going well so far. Maybe I should be using the one with the expert offensive planner trait rather than the expert defensive guy. That's the other guy, also expert offensive. Okay, yeah, we'll use this guy. And you know what? For your sterling work in this attack, you get a promotion. Bureaucracy-wise, aha, we can go another level of education and home affairs and law enforcement. Let's do it. It's going to use tons of bureaucracy, but that's okay. We can just build more bureaucrats. What's this? Transvaal and the Transvaal Peasant Revolt. Do you have gold? Isn't there gold mines? Aren't there gold mines here? Yeah, some gold fields here. Gold fields here. I'd like to have those. How's our infamy, by the way? Only 46, so we have some infamy to play with. Oh, and France they're pushing through against the malaria, looks like. Huh. Ah, and their ruler has an expert colonial administrator trait. We should try and get the malaria prevention so we can start rivaling them there. 27 months, yeah, actually, I think I might do that next, even ahead of engines. We've identified a skyscraper site in London. Lay the foundations. And so now we get a journal entry, construct a skyscraper. Any building in the home countries is skyscraper. Cool. So we can now build it. Is it industry? No, here it is, skyscraper. It gives you 25% government administration building throughput. And that's nationally, not in the one province, I believe. So let's do it. And before you start building it, you can queue up several. And I don't know if this is a bug or not, but let's try. We're going to try and build 5 of them. And they're going to use 18 construction. It's going to take a whole year to be built. Nearly, anyway. Oh, it feels good to just be beating the US rather than, you know, going back and forth. Now that we've properly industrialized and got our GDP continuing to go relatively parabolic. Vacuum canning for food industries. Nice. It's going to make way more groceries. Ah, but it's going to use oil. Okay. Yeah, it is weird that you can do things like this even when, like, there is no oil in the entire world right now. But we can still do that. And all it'll do is increase the cost of oil to the maximum possible price that it can be. But we should get some oil rigs going, so that's not the case. But yeah, the fact that there isn't actually like a goods economy in the game is a bit weird. Yeah, bureaucratic shortfall. Hopefully there won't be by the time the skyscrapers are built. Gold discovered in North Island. Nice. Not that I own any of that right now. Oh, no, I do. I own a tiny bit. Just this little gold mine, which is struggling for engines. But I think there's... are other places struggling for engines still making a profit? So a lot of them are actually not. They're shown just into Steam Donkey not going so well. We need these buildings. Building progress, time remaining 3 weeks, but allocation 0. I don't quite understand that. Is it actually making progress? Oh, it's having some allocated to it now, okay. And yeah, motor industry should auto-expand and should not be subsidized. It will not need subsidy. That I am very confident of. But yeah, every time we get one of these, a new one of these built, we should be making a serious impact. We still have a critical shortage. What's the overall balance sheet on those looking like? Oh, it reckons we're making plenty. That's weird. Maybe it's just that they're not consuming it because they're not able to consume it. But that doesn't make much sense. Curious indeed. Don't know what's going on with these little fronts up here, but we can keep pushing them. Lost that one, but pushing many of them. Ah, this is good. We've got some fronts that we might be able to actually use to push towards the actual war goal down here. That'll be interesting. But right now we're still trying up here. A revolution is brewing because they want to preserve the monarchy. Damn. Well, improve their approval to get rid of the revolution. It's the Anglican Church, landed gentry, petit bourgeoisie. Well, they only hold, like, counting the... I mean, yeah, they do not hold much power. It's like 10% of the country. It's barely any radicals. It's just from angry supporting interest groups. So it's basically just the petit bourgeoisie, right? Because surely marginalized groups don't count. How could I appease the petit bourgeoisie? Aren't they affected by pay? Yeah. There we go. Now they're no longer angry. If we pay the government a bit better, I mean, that is going to cost us a pretty penny. But if we do that, then they're no longer... petit bourgeoisie are no longer angry. They're okay with the idea of a parliamentary republic as long as they're not angry. The following states would succeed. What the hell? East Anglia, Midlands, Yorkshire, Lancashire, Lowlands. Jesus Christ. Alright, we cannot allow that to happen. Under any circumstances. That would be a disaster. You guys both launching offensives? Yes. Good. So got them there. And then that big one that was there, let's have them come over here and help wrap up this front. Can I even assign them here? There we go. Because this is part of the war goal around here, so it would make sense to fight there. And here we have, yeah, some of the ridiculousness of the battle war system being shown. There's 4 of them, 37 of us, and we're fighting on even terms, but looks like we're still going to take the win. Does it steadily use more and more for these things? Oh, it does. Okay. I didn't realise that. Well, I'm hopeful that the skyscrapers... Ah, we enforced the war goal on Russia. Just capitulation. Interesting. So US, why is your war support not going negative? I don't really understand. War support cannot... Okay, here we go. War support cannot be released below 0 because they hold their capital and the following war goals are not occupied. Okay. So if we had their capital or the war goals, would that be enough? Or do we just have to have one of the war goals? I'm still not quite clear on how that system works. Okay, let's have one of these offensive generals. Oh, we've won that one. Come over here. The other 2 can carry on their work down here. Another native uprising. They got any men this time? Doesn't look like it. I suspect they're going to back down then. What did I want to invent? Yes, we need malaria prevention because I can't have France beating us to the punch on the Congo. That would be disastrous. So far they're only pushing in very slowly, but once they get malaria prevention themselves, then we'll be in a spot of bother. Okay, they do have some divisions, so I will send over some of my own. The 5 and the 2 should be sufficient. And we are pushing in here. No, still really struggling. Yeah, even with mad stats in our favour. So, well, hang on, actually, what we need to do is take the District of Columbia, right? Then we can start getting their war enthusiasm below 0. So, how about a little bit of a naval invasion with old Humphrey Elliot? Trusty Humphrey Elliot can launch a naval invasion. All those railways got built? Yes, looks like it. So how are we doing now on access? Much better. Okay. That will help a lot, but still not quite enough in some of the southern areas. And over here? Yeah, no surprise there. We should also be doing it with ports, actually, because ports provide a fair amount of infrastructure as well. We've already got some in lots of these places, but let's crank out a couple more. And then also we should be making sure we're exploiting all the resources we could be, allowing the auto expander to do its work, which I think we are more or less. Yeah, all the big ones. There's a couple of fishing spots we could do a bit more of. Generally though, that looks good. Okay, and yeah, let's make sure they're all still auto-expanding. You don't want to subsidize any steel mills. They do not need it. Motor Industries, how you doing on that price? Still plus 75, I think. Oh no, plus 41. Okay, we're getting there now. Let's do a bit more of that though. In New Brunswick, I do want to bring those motor industry costs down. All the rest of these auto-expanding. Okay, we have skyscrapers, and you can have airship mooring posts for prestige or not. But I think it's privately owned trade centres. Everything auto-expanding, and we should be able to do more rail transportation now that we're tanker cars. So these seems good too. But yeah, auto-expand our new oil ventures, and we can make sure we're using tip-top tech on most things. Those aren't in home countries, so maybe I'm a bit less willing to do that. But steam donkeys, yeah, should be more profitable now. Let's do it. Let's do it on everything. It'll just drive up our usage of of engines, which we're trying to increase anyway. And yeah, plenty of dynamite to be used in the mines. Do publicly trade those rice farms. Good. Oh yes, lots of these farms not publicly traded. Switch that over. How is the investment contribution now? 280. Okay, pretty good. Presumably once Parliamentary Republic gets in, the preserve monarchy thing will go away. We'll see, I guess. Okay, so the bigger fight over here. Where do my guys go? Oh, probably the ones I sent over here are also the ones I sent for the naval invasion. And we can do our little trick to get them here instantly. And the naval invasion is being launched in 34 days. So hopefully once the capital falls... It's kind of absurd, don't you think, that the only way you can get their war support to go down is to control their capital, or like the war goal. Surely their war support could fall from, you know, just damage near the front line. Seems perfectly reasonable to me that should damage their war support. Anyway, our cost of living did dip earlier in the session, or the end of the last session, but it looks like we've managed to bring it back up now, so that's good. Yeah, still struggling on this push here. I wonder how many people are actually dying in these wars. We've lost 400,000 people. That's not inconsequential. That's 1% of the population. Almost. Maybe I should stop some of these offensives. Yeah, the ones that we're actually just kind of grinding to a halt and not managing to make any headway with. Because I don't want to just... You know, I don't want to just throw away good workers. Let's switch them to defensive. Are we actually pushing in here? No. So yeah, let's have these guys switch it up. Seems good. Yeah, we'll pause some of these offensives. It looks like they back down over here. Yes, indeed. So we can continue on in. And also, let's take a look at our new gains and throw down some new industries in them. I want to make sure there's at least something of every industry. Again, just so auto-expand can do its work. Okay, there's the naval invasion. Looks like we're going to lose, despite almost even numbers and dramatically more men. Unfortunate. Am I seeing... Are these naval victories for the US? Oh, they are. How outrageous. You guys. Come raid convoys here so that they don't win again. I don't know if it'll just launch another one after this, but construct skyscraper successfully completed. Nice. Touching the sky. Our architecture is second to none. We have constructed the first architecture in the world. Does it look like that? I hope it doesn't look like that. And did it actually let us build 5? It did. Okay, so we have 5, which should give me 125% government administration throughput in exchange for some paper and cash, which seems like it's going to be kind of broken. And now I can't expand it, so I probably should have built, you know, 20. But oh well. Can I do another skyscraper? Can I look for another skyscraper location? Doesn't look like it. So I probably should have built way more than that, but I mean, even so, look at our bureaucracy. It's going through the roof, and we got a ton of urbanization. Nice. So we're not going to have any problems with government administration in the near future, which is good. So are you supposed to be able to do that? I don't know. Like if I try and build it here, no, skyscraper is not expandable, but it is expandable before it's built. A booming oil industry. Get every drop out of those wells, or more tech on combustion. I'll take tech on combustion for sure. Okay, so we've got plenty of this, which means, I mean, there's no other things I actually want to expand really, so that's fine. We might be getting our parliamentary republic soon. And yeah, this, what I'll probably do with all this extra bureaucracy is just incorporate a bunch more states. Remember though that incorporating a state does reduce its throughput because of our colonial exploitation stuff. So I think I won't incorporate African states. I think South Island, though, seems like a good one because we're not doing kind of raw throughput stuff there, are we? Well, there is gold fields, to be fair, actually. And some logging and fishing in the near future. Maybe I should start some urban stuff here in order to take advantage of the fact that we're going to have it be... Yeah, but there's not enough people there, really. +1. Port canes and industrial port unlocked. Ah, yes, and bicycle messengers. Much more expensive, but more army power projection and more offensive abilities. What did I just unlock? Right, yes, industrial port. It's going to create loads more infrastructure. It's going to take more coal, and it's going to take a bunch of steamers. I don't think steamers exist yet. Or does it produce steamers? No, it just uses steamers. What makes steamers? This naval base? No. Is there an urban? Ah, here we go, shipyards. Yeah, we haven't invented steamships yet. I think they don't exist at all. But we get to start using them all the same. You see what I mean about the kind of slightly silly way that goods work in this game. Are we winning this? No. How'd the naval invasion go? Ah, it's probably going to happen again. Try again after this fight. Let's see how we go. No? Oh no, it got cancelled. Alright, new naval invasion. Try again. With Hugh this time. Is there a fight active? Yeah. We'll wait till this fight goes on. It stops and then I can slow the offensive. And we might be about to get our parliamentary republic. Why did I want a parliamentary republic again? Ah, yes, it's going to make the armed forces love us forever. Which will be good because it will give us this, yeah, 15% attack and defense for a long time. Hopefully. And Home Affairs, Education, Law Enforcement all increased. Can't push any of them any higher than that, can I? No. Don't know what to do with this extra bureaucracy. I guess I will... Maybe we survey the Suez? Or... what do I need for British Raj? Oh, we have to get Colonial Affairs up to level 5. Not sure how I'm ever going to do that. It must be tech level. Oh yeah, no. Malaria prevention, let me do that. Nice. Okay, let's not try and spend our administration then, because I think I might be about to annex all of India. How did we get this? Oh, it's Portuguese, right. Well, I guess we'll call a halt to this offensive. Just focus on trying to get the naval invasion to work. More rubber rush. Let's make sure we're making use of all of the different spaces we're finding rubber in. I know we're not getting good throughput bonuses because of these this spread approach, but just trying to let auto expand do what it does. We are in a deficit now, so I'm gonna shrink the industrial sector a bit. It's really cheap to build up again, and it will cause some radicals, but there we go. Just put. I don't want to get too much into a deficit because then we're just throwing away cash on interest. Backroom dealings exposed. Damn. I am willing to spend some bureaucracy on helping make sure that does eventually pass. Oh, it's so annoying that you have to get there right at the right moment to stop the offensive. Okay, meanwhile, naval invasion. Damn, another failure. Maybe I should attack Virginia, just because it's, you know, a wider coastline. I have no idea if that makes a difference, but I'm kind of hopeful that it does. Diplomatic place started. Austria has five regiments. Austria has no regiments? Oh, this is a South German uprising. Okay. Wait, who's this? The South German uprising. Oh, it's just Baden. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Didn't know that could happen. Alright, come on. Lose this battle. And I've got to pause at just the right moment. Cease your offensives. Who's still advancing? Oh, my allies. It does seem absurd that I'm not actually capable of bringing them to peace. Like, I have a large portion of their land under my control right now. Who's not doing anything? Humphrey Elliot. Go defend this front. And I want you there now. Good. But yeah, running a bit of a deficit. Could pay the military less. Because they'll love me anyway. They're capped at above plus 20. We have the right people in government for this law, don't we? Yeah, just the intelligentsia and the armed forces. Surely the diggers are in favour of monarchy. Get rid of monarchy? No, it looks like they're not actually. The rural folk might. No. No stances. Jingoistic. Yeah, no real stance on that. Interesting. Standard of living continues to tick up. Nice. Oh yes, elastics of texture mills. Whoa, it's going to cost a stupid quantity of money because it needs loads and loads. Sorry, moving my mic around. It needs loads and loads of rubber. How about automatic power looms? Still going to lose money. How is our... Yeah, we need to keep working on our power situation. Apparently. Electricity plus 37%. Let's... Well, we were going to improve that with tech, weren't we? Yeah, I think I will stick to that plan. I should have built like 20 levels of Skyscraper, I guess, in hindsight. Since we are now never going to be able to build any more. But, I mean, I don't know. It's already kind of broken to get 130% government administration throughput. And let's just check. It is applying that to all government administrations, right? Even ones not in the home counties? No, actually. Is it only applying to one in the home counties? Where'd it go? Government administration, home counties. Yeah, it's only applying here. Okay. Right, well, that's good to know. In that case, let's build... like, you know, all our government administration in the home counties. Give me 50 levels there, and then we're going to demolish all the other administrations, like, across the country. Game really starting to slow down a bit. Still able to go a bit faster. I guess we'll go speed 5 for a bit. To try and get back up to what speed 4 used to be. Which is weird, right? It shouldn't do that. It should run the game... Failed naval invasion again. I don't know how I'm going to bring this war to an end. Let's try invading Louisiana. It does seem weird that it would run faster at speed 5 than speed 4 when 4 is already slower than what speed 4 used to be. But, Anyway. So what are we getting turmoils from these days? Yeah, we are getting a lot from political demands, which is the preserving monarchy thingamajob. But, I mean, of 55 million, only 10% are radical. Which is basically everyone in the petty bourgeoisie and the two marginalized groups, I guess. Gold's been discovered in California. Nice. He avoids the barrack like the plague. What's the problem? Oh, he's got shell shock. He needs to be treated. Sure. Oh, that's iron mines. I thought it was gold mines. We could go up to 33 and I was losing it. But nice. And gold fields here. Why is it switched off my my list view? Ooh. Room for 38 oil rigs. Holy hell. And we've got a lot of pan-nationalism. Any other oil rigs available? No, just there. Let's build a bunch in California. Gold discovered in Tasmania. Also, yes, we do have access into here now. We're getting there on malaria prevention. I think I'm actually going to start these two colonies now, even before we get the malaria prevention tech, just to try and get as much head start on the French as possible. Well, not head start, but, you know, progress. If we can cut across here, that would be perfect. But, yeah, I really don't want them to get access to all this lovely, lovely rubber in the center. The dream. That's fine. I do not mind at all. Okay, please, give me one of these I can win. 6+4. Yes! Okay, we can finally land. We might, of course, find that we just land and then still can't make any headway, but we will see. More rubber rushes. Sure thing. No, we're losing. We had the numbers and the better stats. What? Outrageous. Damn. Really thought we were going to pull it off then. Well, I mean, we're clearly, well, I suppose I say we're clearly winning this war. We have taken astronomically more casualties than them. So hang on, it won't go below 0 because we have to liberate New England. Well, I mean, this guy... Let's just try another straight-up offensive up here, I guess. To wait for our Portuguese allies to finish losing. We're suddenly making money. Why is that? Ah, because we can now do stuff from the investment pool. Previously I was building stuff the investment pool wasn't willing to contribute to, I guess. Yeah, steamers are costing tons, obviously. Rubber is still costing a lot. I'm surprised we haven't got more rubber expansion going on. Let's, some peasants, quite a few peasants here. Let's pump up some rubber extraction. Should help the overall market situation. I mean, you'd think we'd be able to eventually push through here, because we have... maybe I should be inventing more military techs. Like trench works and bolt-action rifle. That doesn't actually help, though, does it? War propaganda? No, it's just more people we can recruit. Oh yeah, wargaming would be good, but I mean, it's 3 years. Okay, let's see. With us doing the offensive... Come on... Nope. They're still just getting way more men into the front line. That's unfortunate. It's a very multicultural casualty list. We're sending in people of all colours and all stripes to die against the Americans here. And Prussia is warring against Bavaria. Interesting. If I was more free, that's the kind of thing I might want to get involved in, but I'm a little busy. Are the American? No, the Russians not being here are what's stopping my offensive. And yeah, loads of new things being added to the auto construction queue. We're at, okay, there we go. We're at plus 9,000 bureaucracy. So good. I'm guessing that means we've made the home country. So this one is making 1,300. We get a total of 2,100. Okay, so I believe that means... Oh, hang on, yeah. I think... Are we able to make these switches now? Yes, now that we have more rubber. And the automatic power looms? Indeed. Nice. That should make our standard of living go way up, because we have tons more clothes for the people. Okay, so government administration. The one in Lancashire. It's gone. The one in East Anglia. It's gone. The one in the Lowlands. Gone. The one in the Midlands. Gone. One in the West Country. Gone. My income is going down as I do this, interestingly. Oh, crap. Is this because I now have insufficient taxation capacity in all those places? Bollocks. Bollocks. That's bad. Okay, where can I see... Surely if I'm on this map mode, it shows me taxation capacity. No? Okay. I guess I have to look at it like this. The lowlands need 58 more taxation capacity. Each of these adds 15. Okay, so we are still going to make some... I can't have these two open at the same time. Lowlands need 6. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the ones at the end of this list could be cancelled. Okay. West Country needs 13, really. 13. And where else? East Anglia needs 11. go for that. And then Lancashire needs 11 as well. Just to handle all that. And then Midland needs 15 or 16. Damn it. Well, that's unfortunate, because I thought I was going to be able to just completely centralize it all here, but... Does taxation... Oh, the game crashed. That's funny. That might reverse all of taking all those things down. That would be amusing. We'll see. Well, I'll pause the recording. I'll see you again once it's booted back up. No, tragically it did save as I exited, so we do still have that problem. But does the taxation capacity here get increased by the throughput? I should be able to work it out, right? Because each one gives... Yes, it is, well... Total modifiers plus 1200 taxation capacity. Yes, it's being increased by the throughput. Okay, so this is actually going to be too many. I have to consider the fact that they're going to get certain degrees of throughput. So let's just reduce them by, you know, a highly technical measure, that is to say, a bit each. And then we'll see what taxation capacity deficits are still remaining in 11 weeks. What was that pop-up? Yeah, I mean, this offensive is still stalling. How do we end this stall? Ooh, revolution brewing again. Oh no, it's brewing even without the petit bourgeoisie. Radicalism's high, because there's some more supporting radicals. We probably need to end the war. Is the war hurting our radicals? Was it just firing people that did it? Alright, you know what? It seems now isn't the time for Parliamentary Republic. I'll call it off. We'll have to continue trying to minimize the power of the petit bourgeoisie. What's affecting the petit bourgeoisie? Oh, that's weird. This clout menu doesn't show the other laws that are helping them, because we know that monarchy's helping them. Oh no, that's landowners. Okay. How could I lower the power of the petit bourgeoisie? Local police force helps landowners, doesn't it? I could suppress them. Right now they are helping us with bureaucracy, but we don't need that. How would I get enough authority to do that? I guess I'd need to... We don't have any state actions active, so I'd have to turn off some levies. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to win this war against the US. I think we need to... We have to white peace. Annoyingly. Oh no, I can do some things. Okay, why? Ah, because American loans are 100. They are fully capped out on loans. Okay, so we can do some things. So what do we want to do against them? We can do two things. I think liberating Louisiana and New England seems like a good peace deal. I do want the New York Treaty Port, but let's do that. Boom. Get wrecked, America. Oh, you're kidding me. I thought it was going to be like... Well, that's upsetting. Hello, Louisiana. You should love me. They are amicable towards me. And we have truces with them. But I'd really like to ally them. Similar ideology. Yeah, lots of good things. Here, I'll bankroll you. I want to become your friend so that you don't go back to America. Greece wants a defensive pact. Sure. Oh, and this war hasn't actually kicked off yet. Who's backing who? Russia has backed Bavaria. Excellent. I too have a delivery. Right. As I was saying, I too back Bavaria. Because I don't want Prussia getting to unify Germany. And who's winning around the proles right now? The diggers. Okay. I guess we're going to have a coalition of the diggers. Excuse me. The diggers and the industrialists. That'll be fun. And, yeah, these guys never... Well, they did demobilize, but... I guess I'm going to try and avoid... I can't reach any of these fronts, annoyingly. I guess I'm going to try and avoid... well, first off, mobilizing too many of my men, but secondly, having to do any conscription. That'll be good. What are we building a lot of right now? Oh yes, all those new government administrations. They are rather expensive. But malaria prevention is coming very soon. Spanish-American rivalry declared. Cool. So yeah, New England. Yes, good. Defensive pacts. I don't know if they dislike America. But, I mean, this will have weakened them somewhat. Because there's quite a few states in here. You should definitely want to come into my customs union, by the way. Oh, I just found out you can change this to map angle. Oh, that's weird. How was it before? I liked it how it was before. Okay, any more oil rigs discovered? No. Rubber plantations? Yes. Nice. Okay. Making no money on this, huh? Even though there's a shortage of this stuff. Bring out the maps. Our colonial Africa is, along with new means to prevent malaria, has made a serious contender for government. Bring out the maps and the strategies. Malaria prevention unlocked. Okay, no more shortage on these now. All sorts of problems just because electricity. Oh yeah, tools are really expensive. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so after malaria prevention, what was I going to get? Steam turbine. Steam turbine seems like a good get. Okay, so I could be getting another 10 science or innovation points. And how many are we making in our 10? 32, so I need another kind of 4. Slight overkill. Ooh, radical numbers going way down. Look at that. That's fantastic. Successful political movements seriously tanked the number of radicals. Making everyone nice and happy with us. The armed forces less so, of course. Armed forces, speaking of the armed forces, yeah, don't pay them. Also, let's stop paying the government. That's going to lose us 10% bureaucracy. You know what? I think we'll manage. It does also mean that all the bureaucrats in our country are poorer, which of course is not ideal. Hey, I think Prussia backed down. Completely missed it, but nice. That's good news. So now we can do places with malaria, which means we're going to start bulldozing in here at high speed. Excuse me, from severe malaria? No, no, no. I have invented malaria prevention. Annoyingly, sometimes you have to reload the game for it to actually recognize that you have done that invention. But hopefully after this restart it should fix that. There we go. 37 days. Oh, and I paused one here. Unpause that. And so we can see that, yeah, it's going to take we're going to go 10 times faster than the French. 20 times, all being equal. But all things are not equal. Okay. We could also grab this bit down here, which I think I won't do until the French start, maybe? No, let's grab it. No, don't cancel it. So then we can deny the French any access to the south, which will be good. Okay, and we're making profit. Nice. And the petit bourgeoisie want to enact secret police. No. Tough luck. Okay, so places like this now. Okay, we're way over on taxation capacity. Let's see how we do if I downscale these a bit. Using 3, so only a 402. How did that go up when I reduced the size here? There we go. Now it's actually gone down. Oh, I reduced the size of the port by mistake. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, at 7 we're looking better. Now here we're a bit over the top. One more. Yeah. Okay, and here, a bit over the top. I keep reducing the wrong thing. There we go. Here, looks good. Here, Way over the top. Okay, it's going to change when we get to... Okay, it shouldn't now. Good. There we go. Lowlands. Only very slightly over. I'll let that lie. Here, I could save a bit. Good. Wales, way over, but we haven't got any. This country we've done. And here, obviously, we're staggeringly over. We've got 4,000. 4,000 taxation capacity. That's hilarious. Okay, well, that will save us some significant cash. If we take a look on... Yeah, our paper costs are going to go down, and our government wages costs are going to go down as well. Nice. And another delivery. God, the endless stream of deliveries. Okay, so we're way over on bureaucracy, which I think means there's literally no reason not to incorporate a bunch of states. I think. Why can't I incorporate... I can't incorporate treaty ports. Oh, interesting. Gibraltar is treated as a treaty port with Spain. I didn't know that. Yeah, so like, for example, if I were to integrate this Mauritania, for example. If we incorporate Mauritania, it will tell us what it's doing. It'll give us more assimilation, more education access, more welfare payments, more colonial growth generation, less revolutions, radicals. You get basically all of your... Yeah, let's incorporate everywhere. Welcome to full integration into the British Empire. You get votes, if you're rich enough anyway. You get rights and education access and all your hearts could desire. There we go. everyone, welcome in. So I'll slightly reduce the throughput because we have. Remember, we're on colonial exploitation. Oh yes, we can go level 5. Definitely do that. Because our law is still colonial exploitation, right? Yeah. Which gives us... So it will raise the subsistence output in those states, and it will reduce the throughput by 10%. But that's okay. So I think we're okay with colonial exploitation. Hey, New England, you still like me? Yeah, good. Come into my customs union. We need to be more similar in our government. If we were a republic, we could probably pull that off. Are there any other laws I want? I'm quite happy with protectionism. I'm not struggling for trade because we can just do it all ourselves. Going to elect bureaucrats. Don't want to increase the petty bourgeoisie power. Ah, yeah. What about tax? How about if we went to proportional taxation? Industrialists oppose it. Landed gentry oppose it. But I don't really care about the opinion of the landed gentry. And the industrialists are still more than +10. And it would make us way more money because we'd start taking a dividend tax. Less people support it though, so I think we'll just stick with where we are on that. How about voting? Yeah, I mean, if we went to universal suffrage, we could get women's rights if we did that. Is there a reason to do that? Women are allowed to own property right now, which means we have a +5% workforce ratio. We get a lower birth rate but more workforce ratio. Okay, and you get more dependent enfranchisement, which I guess means, yeah, the fraction of dependents that can join interest rates and vote. But you do lose birth rate. I think I'm okay with property doing right now. So we should just reform a government to have... Who won? The Diggers did really well, didn't they? And the Whigs didn't. It was the Digs and the Pellets that did what? Pellets. So let's just have industrialists and trade unionists happily working side by side. These guys want to join the Pellet Party. Fine. Intelligentsia, trade unionists, and industrialists in a perfect harmony. France. We need more hardline stuff against France. Yeah, sure. And get some migrant attraction to rubber-bearing provinces. That's fine by me. Any more oil places? Doesn't look like it. Really? Even though surely the price on oil is still high. It's actually not that bad. Right, so is there anyone else that could use oil? Motor industry still can't go publicly run. Urban centre should be all covered markets. Oh, we could do public trams. Employ less people but use A lot more transportation. No, I think that's okay. I'm not feeling like we're short on goods. We could build Big Ben. Oh, we can just do this. What does Big Ben give us? You get plus 1% throughput per level. Okay, let's save because I'm curious if we can just break the game right here. Big Ben test. Let's see. What if we built 100 Big Bens and increased the throughput of everything in London by 100%? You know we gotta try. Big Ben. Damn, you can only do one with that one. So they know how to code that. I wonder why it works with that but not other things. Okay, we need more railways too. We might as well go with max out all the ports as well. Yeah, all the ports in the UK are getting maxed out. Which is going to be really expensive because of all of the steamers that we don't have. We're going to invent them soon, but I just want the infrastructure to not be an issue. So what else? What should we do next? I feel like there's still some weakening of America to be done. I mean, we have reduced their population, right? Yeah. Their population, since they lost New England, how many people are in New England? There's 1.6 million in New England. Not very many in Louisiana, sadly. Plenty of rubber rushes. Discovering it all over the shop now. And yeah, our colonization for Africa rush is going very well. France does have some, obviously, but yeah. What we could try and do is cut off France and then start taking it all off them. Could also take New Mexico off Mexico, but there's nothing here, really. No offense to my New Mexican viewers, but it seems pretty worthless, honestly. Need gold mines? No, not even gold fields anymore in Mexico. And tech, we're up to the cap now? We're actually not up to the cap yet. Okay. Let's build... I probably demolished a bunch by accident. Let's build some more universities. Just make sure we're at the cap. Oh, and I should definitely put those at the top of the list, or it'll take ages for them to get built. Number of radicals is rising again, but slowly. Oh, hey, what do you know? Rubber rush. Events that have only one option should not happen more than once. Ah, Louisiana has a... What is this? A peasant revolt. Okay. Interesting. I have got my interest declared, like, all over the shop still, right? Yeah, more or less. In fact, I have so many ports now, I think I can declare interest in every province in the world. There we go. There is nothing in the world that does not concern me. Anything happens, I want to know about it. So I can take a side. And the trade unions are now formally powerful. Excellent. They like us, so I'm happy with that. Input goods shortages. Yeah, still short on silk. I mean, I've got a bit of turmoil. Still got some isolated state regions over here in the east. Let's think about putting some ports on them. Oh, that's what we could do. Van Diemen's Land. Let's annex Van Diemen's Land. New England may join either side or remain neutral, but I can't click the button because probably they like me too much. Yeah. So let's damage our relations with them so I can annex them. And Van Diemen's Land has annexed up the other one. Good. And I suppose we should annex the Dutch East Indies too. Can I do that now? No. And if we do that, we may face Spain and Qing. I'm not afraid, to be honest. Begin damaging relations with them as well. Right, East India Company. What did I need to annex them? Yes, we need the 27 weeks we can try and annex them. So that's when our thing finishes. And then these guys right now, they're all puppets, right? Yeah, puppets of East India. I wonder if we annex them at the same time or if we have to manually go through and grab each of them. We shall find out, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's just speed 5. Nothing going too much right now. New England, sure, I'll take on your debt. 500 grand. No problem. And then I'll even... What do I want from them? I want them to like join my trade customs union. And I'll use an obligation. Nice. So we have a customs union with New England now. I mean, let's take a look at the British market. Hang on, excuse me. There we go. I think we're doing pretty well, although it's worth noting, actually, I can see California. You short on infrastructure? Yes, you are. Quite a bit, so. These 2 levels of railway are giving you, yeah, 15 each, so we need a couple more of those at least. Let's chuck down 3 of them. That should solve that. And yeah, GDP continuing to do pretty well. I feel like I haven't invented anything for a while. 6 months till steam turbine. That's going to really help, because right now electricity is very expensive. And then we need to invent steamers to save my people from this 122 market price on those. Naval base max level unlocked. Cool. Which unlocked some new production for some things, I think. Yes, shipyards. I can do extensive military shipbuilding. Just builds more man o' wars, less clippers. Which does help on price, so sure thing. Universities, we done? No. 199. Oh, I misread it. My bad, sorry. Shrink those universities back down again. I was looking at the number on the left and thinking, but the number on the right is so much higher. But yeah, that's because that number on the right is the amount you'd be making if there was no cap. So, I just roosted this down a bit. I didn't see what those events were at all, to be honest. Some inactive and unproductive trade routes. Everything's still on protectionism? Yes. Especially things like oil and rubber. I want to be very protectionist with them. Yeah, unsurprisingly in terms of GDP, you have to go down quite a long way before something is not me. Did we get Big Ben built, by the way? Is it finished yet? Looks like, no, it's still underway. 15 more weeks. 1% throughput. I mean, it's pretty good. But it's not, like, outrageous. Anyway, so since we can't reduce the bureaucracy size in other places, I suppose we should just reduce it down in the capital until we're not wasting any cash on that. And there we go. Very healthy income now. Not getting any more French war reps. I would like those again. An uprising, huh? Don't think that's going to go very well for you, bud. Looks like no one's going to help you and you have no men. Did you think this through? Did you consider your options? We're not discriminating. Like you can come and be a full member, a productive, tax-paying, voting member of the greatest empire on the planet. What's this? Drum up support for the intelligentsia or more influence? Yeah, support for the intelligentsia. It's fine by me. Any support for the intelligentsia is less support for the petty bourgeoisie and their darn monarchist ways, which I am in favour of. What's this? Austria is trying to subjugate Morocco. I'm kind of okay with that, actually. Should we embargo the US? Yeah, let's embargo the US. That'll probably hurt them. Hurt their economy. Let's embargo France, too. No, I can't. Steam turbine unlocked. Okay. Next up. More economy of scale building level cap. It's going to take a very few days. Let's get that done. Okay, so with the... I mean, this is going to crank the price of coal. That's for sure. But it's going to make us double the amount of electricity. It's pretty crazy. Boom. So we should see the market price for electricity collapse. Yeah, look at that. Got it down to -7%. Excellent. And I have to imagine, conversely, the market price for coal is going to take a bump. Another native uprising. Bring it on. Where's coal in this list? There it is. Yeah, coal took a pretty serious bump. But that's going to give us enough electricity to have loads of our other industries become more profitable. Ooh, more gold mines available? Yes, indeed. Ooh, Nevada, Nevada, Nevada. There's a lot of gold mines. Yeah, auto-expand this, and yeah, things like livestock ranches, all this stuff. It's going to get more profitable now that we can get the electricity for them much, much cheaper. Any more oil rigs? No. Okay, where was that other uprising? Over here. The other one's already back down. prudent. Maybe they liked my talk about how they should, you know, just become voting, tax-paying workers instead. So combustion engine, automobile production for motor industries. I think that just adds using rubber, basically. I know you actually make automobiles as separate. Good, okay. I don't think we're using automobiles for anything, so. Good fertilizers. Conveyors, assembly lines for tooling and workshops. Yes, that seems really good. Tooling and motors are both expensive, so if we can get some assembly lines to make it cheaper, that'll be great. And we have access into some more core areas here, so we'll go for them. We have 13,000 regiments, huh? Or rather 13 regiments. It's not going to be enough, but it's more than we've faced lately. No one's going to oppose us, looks like. Jolly good. And how's that war going? No one making any progress? How you doing, US? Shall I take on your debt and then immediately call it in? Hunger relief, expensive wine, more hunger relief. When does the American Civil War historically kick off? Right now they have the Southern planters and the intelligentsia in government, so clearly they're managing to compromise, for now at least. Reduce that down. Any more inefficient taxation stuff? Yes. Munster, Leinster, Midlands, Yorkshire. It's under this, isn't it? Munster, Leinster, and it was 2 in Leinster, Midlands, Yorkshire. And we are once again short on infrastructure. So we'll get that sorted. How are we doing over here on infrastructure? Looking like a few places could use a rail top-off. Good. Up to 10 million loyalists. Plus 12 approval on the industrialists. Nice. Bunch of Uzbek people migrating to Yorkshire. Cool. Come on in. What's this? Prussia. They're trying to conquer Hesse and Frankfurt. Outrageous behaviour. Hesse, make me an offer, and I will gladly come and join you for like almost anything. Oh, and these guys back down, looks like. Yeah, should give me access to another area. Yes, indeed. Get colonizing. Come on, make me an offer. France is backing you. Cool. Give me an offer too. You want me and France, trust me. Since you've got so much money, I think I'll also expand the size of my military, but not in the home countries actually. Let's recruit some Scots into the army. We can afford it. And I would like just a general draft across Canada and our American holdings. Good. Just to generally grow our military power. Yeah, looking pretty good on prestige. France is still doing pretty well. I mean, their GDP is growing pretty fast. They're probably one of the only other ones with access to rubber. Let's take a look here at rubber production on the map. It's not working. That's weird. Excuse me. Rubber. There we go. Production on the map. Now, it's still only me that's producing rubber, looks like. No one else is actually doing it. But if we looked at potentials, France does have some pretty big potential usage. We're also the only ones using it right now. How about engines? France is using some engines, but many times less than me. How about electricity? Still just me making electricity. It does seem a little bit easy to get just way ahead of the AI on tech. Hey, Hesse, make me an offer. Otherwise, the pressure's just going to occupy you before France gets involved, and you'll be forced to capitulate. It'll be a disaster. Hey, level 5 colonial growth. You know what time it is then. Proclaim the British Raj. Good riddance to company rule. The rule of the East India Company has ended. The British government will now take a direct role. History shall mark this day as the inception of the British Raj. They will be reformed in the British Raj. They'll become a British puppet. The doctrine of lapse will be abolished, preserving the princely states. They enable appointed principals. Appointed people. Cool. Boom. British Raj. Oh, I thought I was just going to annex it. Well, why did I do that then? What advantage did that bestow? Are they now a puppet rather than a protectorate? Does that mean they pay me more? Oh, and all the other people become my puppets rather than their puppet. Well, that's good at least. Okay. They demand independence. If we accept they become independent. No. If demands independent. Let's go with no. I am going to try and improve relations with a bunch of these guys, though. Just keep them happy. It's pretty cheap to improve relations with a lot of these guys because they're not very powerful. But yeah, I'd like them all to stay on side. How do you feel about me too? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, I think that's all of them. Love what that does to my outliner, by the way. Really big fan. In fairness, I don't think I need these. Don't need the outliner too much right now. Good, so that's going to help out the economy by getting us substantially more on diplomatic pacts. That's what we like to see. Now, speaking of things, can I annex the subject yet? No, I could launch annexation plays against all the Indians. But France, Prussia, Austria, everyone's interested. Could try once against Portugal. Lots of people, again, they would be interested in the war, which is why I want to do Australia. Cross-border investments. Foreign investment in the Netherlands. Or 10% manufacturing tax income. No, we'll invest in the Netherlands, sure. They're kind of struggling over there. You've got a level 2 urban centre compared to, 70 in the UK. There's only 14 in Paris. The AI is really not very good. There are mods that make them better. I'm not currently using them. But we may next campaign. Still some railway shortages. Look at the freaking sizes of the railways I'm having to construct here. It is partly, of course, because we have the railways set to what do you call it? This means they make more transportation but less infrastructure. But they'd lose so much more money if I didn't do that. Even as it is, they will lose money. I've never made a profitable railway. It kind of feels like you have to subsidize them. I don't know, if we could bring the engine costs down, actually. We're kind of close to profitable railways. Let's have a look here. If we were to add in... Let's add a Midlands motor production. And we're working on conveyors, which will help with engine production too. Well, presumably we've got, no infantry now. Haven't done anything in a while. Yeah. Well, we have got the native uprisings. Was the native uprisings causing infamy confirmed to be a bug? I don't know. Did that one cause any? No, still 9.2. Maybe it's only when the war breaks out. What's this? A revolutionary Liberia. Interesting. Well, I think we're okay with ignoring that. And what's this? Oh, France. France, you appear to be in a spot of bother there. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone supported your enemy and made it so that you lost some of this nice rubber-bearing land? Wouldn't that be a shame? And know that we're going to commit hard to this war. Because we're going to mobilize immediately. And we're going to fight you in Africa, where I bet I have better infrastructure than you. And we're going to immediately also start building some railways around here. Get me railways all over the shop, so that we can fight the French in Africa on a decent infrastructural footing. They have. Okay. It's kind of problematic. North Sea HQ only has 60 ships. Let's raise that to 100. Bang. And then the New England HQ. Isn't one of these guys... I think some of these guys need promoting to hold more. He's already maxed. Is it him that needs promoting? I thought we have some guys in... some ships in reserve right now. Where do we have the ships in reserve? Canada. Okay. Yeah, the Canada HQ. Okay, and then we will build some more in Canada too. Why can't I build it here? Ontario has no accessible coastline. Are you sure about that? We can't have the French taking the fight to us at sea. That's just embarrassing. After production line, we should definitely also invent clippers. Okay, build all this. France is busy fighting Russia, remember? Sorry, Prussia. So now's a great moment to hop on a fight against them. No, they're not. Did they back out of that play? No, they're in the fight. They're in the fight. Okay, good. Right, this is just nightmarishly bad UI design. Can I turn off things you're improving with in the outliner? No. Very, very bad UI design. We need to pay the military. And let's send in some dudes. I'm hoping to just outnumber them on the main fronts, and then over here they'll really struggle to supply them. And then these unoccupied fronts get the titchy guys. And it's a shame we can't add our own war goals. They are talking about having a patch in the future where you're able to say, like, hey, I'll join you if you give me this. Which is if you don't mind me saying so, obvious mechanic, but B, would be a big improvement for sure. So France only has this tiny little port down here. I guess I could try and launch a naval invasion against it to ensure that that was where we targeted. That would probably be clever. But I kind of need the troops we have right now. Let's increase the size of our professional army as well. I don't like seeing the fact that France's is bigger than mine. Let's grow the American army even further. Because then being in the army, I guess that means being in the army is like, it's kind of like guaranteeing the employment of everyone involved, right? So it means we'll be able to help their situation that way. Should help the standard of living, I'm guessing. Some people supporting censorship, okay, and war will be breaking out very soon. If you guys just make sure we're absolutely massacring as many French convoys around here as possible. And the Canada HQ one should be growing soon. We can also spend more money to give ourselves a boost to offense and defense and protection. Do it. I would like to invent machine guns. Need to invent automatic machine guns before I can do that. War with France has broken out. Nice. So they want to humiliate me and take my war reps. And meanwhile, they're trying to conquer French Timbuktu. Which is this province, I think? Yeah. Okay, so immediately looking like we're going to make some good gains here. Our allies are going to get pushed here. So we've got to make sure this bit of them doesn't fall. No, France actually losing ground to them there. On the other hand, we're not. And looking less promising there because we don't have enough men. Hopefully we can win some quick fights up here and then send these guys down to reinforce that front. Right, the other thing we should do is remember about the whole England getting yoinked thing. So let's build a bunch of new barracks in the UK. so that the there's still plenty of peasants in these areas, so that there's more men than our generals can handle, and then a bunch of these should get automatically assigned to garrisons. And we can build them in just 2 weeks. Nice. It really feels like the numbers in those fights just seem to always go against me. But yeah, we do have some more men coming down here to defend British Tongo. Good. And those are the only real fronts we have against them right now. Okay. Yeah, just keeping an eye out on a potential invasion. But yeah, France being busy against Prussia, I think is going to definitely go in our favour. Let's play it defensive in the north. And then we can hopefully cut them off from supply by A, just raiding, but B, holding them in the south. You know, not holding them, sorry, pushing them in the south. I think if we focus on that, that'll be advisable. And yeah, we've got this area of them under control already. Good. And here, oh, it's close. It's close indeed. But the casualties are in our favour, even if the battle is not. Rich deposits, that's fine. Less migrant action is not really a big concern. And yeah, pushing them on both these fronts unopposed. Happy to continue pushing on unopposed fronts. And yes, our defense stat is might yet carry the day. It's going to be close. It's definitely going to be close. Got them there, and now we have huge numbers here. Let's send some of those guys north, I think. Still losing this fight, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll send some of those guys up to defend up here, just to make sure we don't lose that front. And yeah, got them occupied here. Good. And no naval invasion there yet. Good. And they're not bothering with Corsica or around here yet. Okay. Another native uprising. They shall come to regret that. Send some actual offensive troops over there. And also, what was I thinking? Yes, we're a tiny bit short on government administration, so throw down one in the UK and check if there is any inefficient taxation capacity. Yes, Lancashire needs another administration building. Fine by me. GDP continues to go well. Meanwhile, France is taking a bit of a dip, probably because they had to do conscription here. Also hoping we're going to see some supply issues here. Yes. Good. Supply issues will eventually carry the day, as long as we win the fights at sea. Can't see how they wouldn't. A South German migration to Senegal. Cool. Get that rubber, bud. By all means. And here we are, yes, offensive stats just showing the day as we push into Ghana. And let's take a look here. Should be seeing them. Yeah, okay, the guys that are traveling in don't have supply problems, but the guys that are there, it's just getting worse and worse for them. Good. And as soon as we take this province and its little port, nice little model for the port, by the way, which appears to be burning down. What is this? Is the paper flying everywhere? What is that meant to represent? We'll be in a good spot. Now, the large army in the north. Let's see if we can press in there. And yeah, lots of loyalists. People having a good time. Good time being on our side. Another fight here. Yeah, not going our way. Stat advantage, but the numbers just aren't quite there. If we can push in here and seize the port, though, that'll be good. Oh, and they've established a new front here. Nice. There's conveyors. Now I need to get ironclads, so we can actually make steamships. You guys, just temporarily, if you could hop down here. And with the invention of assembly lines, it's going to take more electricity, but that's okay. Electricity is not that expensive right now. And the oil going up is going to be okay because, you know, it's just shuffling money around. We're the only ones making oil, so go to assembly lines here. Bunch more automation or automotive production. Good, good, good. And I don't think there's any automation to be done on these ones. No, let's make sure these are all auto-expanding their way to glory, though. Yes, and on here, Yes, please, on the automotive. Auto expand. Good. Okay. I'd like it if you could set railways to auto expand when there's an infrastructure deficit. That would be handy. Unfortunately, we might actually not be looking too good on this war, because our buddies are losing war support because they're so occupied, which is why we need to make this push in here. Where is this war going? Are we going to be able to push here? We're struggling. We need to get the cutoff down here, basically, which we're making headway on. That's one we can win. And yeah, got them there immediately. Good. Workers of the world. Internationalist sentiment. Trade unions have suggested we reach out to workers in New England. Class above nation. Or no. It's unpatriotic. Hopefully that's not going to hurt our... damn, that is going to annoy our trade unions quite a bit. But they're still industrially organising in my favour, so could be worse. And yeah, should be relatively easy wins in there. Come on, we just need to cut this port. How's their supply? This guy must have arrived recently because his supply is fine. The other two are in bad spot though, which means eventually we'll get lucky. We'll like roll one of these attacks against one of these two, and then they won't have any ability to oppose us. Likewise here, should be. It's just a matter of time before we find ourselves coming up against the guys with no morale like that. Nice. And like this. Boom. Nice. Yeah, it's starting to lower theirs, but the problem is, yeah, -4 every week. They're going to get forced out soon, which is a shame, because we'll still be able to enforce our war goals. Oh, no, wait, we have no war goals here, do we? Damn. Maybe this will stay as a war goal, but I doubt it. We need to liberate this bit of the country is the problem. Yeah, it's their capital state as well. Damn, I got a bad roll there too. Okay. Well, it's all about if we can cut off this this port before they surrender, basically. Because if we can cut that off, then I think even these guys will lose supply, and we'll be in a good spot. We'll see. Navy's here. Yeah, the French are present, but should be being beaten back. And yeah, the Canadian Navy is getting way, way bigger. Damn, I just need a few more lucky rolls against the French guys we can actually beat. Damn. Every time a fight actually happens. But see, now we're at the point where we're actually beating them there anyway. Okay, and there's not been a British naval invasion, has there? No, good. Damn it, we don't have long enough. Only a couple of weeks. And another native uprising. You shall live to regret that. Where is it? Oh, we can also do a couple of little advances against the French, I guess. Where's that uprising? No idea where that new one is. I guess we'll just... Wow, we have 1,000 regiments capped. Jesus Christ. That's pretty intense. Where are you? Tuat? Not sure how you'd say that. Why do I not have a front here? Ah, because this is all... the entire front we have with the people that are going to go to orders is impassable. That's funny. Yeah, still making gains here, but... I can't look, I don't think, at how likely they are to accept that, but yeah, there they go. They got annexed. So I don't get a war goal to liberate them in this war. They're just gonna... Like, this war is now over nothing. Does unchecking that mean they get... No, they still get it. Well, I mean, we might as well just white piece them, because... I mean... Damn. That's a shame. Do we get a truce with France for that? Yeah. Yeah, that gives us a truce, and we didn't even get to stop them. Damn. Could start a bunch more colonies, though. Oh, right, yeah, and Papua New Guinea is colonizable now. So we only didn't do that earlier because of the malaria. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. On the bright side, can I annex any puppets? No, they still like me too much, huh? Hey, Austria, how are you? Italy, want to be friends? New England. I'll keep taking on your debt. 1.2 million? Sure. I will bankroll your ability to remain independent from the US. I am fine with that. They freaking love me now. Do you want to become my protectorate? No. We have a truce is minus 1,000. We're kind of close, actually, to only minus 50 away from becoming a protectorate. Damn, France getting that is annoying. On the bright side, though, we have completely cut them off from almost all the rest of Africa. Once we've taken this section here, all of this is entirely cut off from them, because they can take this little bit in here, but Congo is centralized, so we have a line that goes all the way up there, cutting them off from all of this Central African bit, in which I wouldn't wager there will be some more rubber. Yes, indeed. And this rubber is going to get a lot more expensive once we start building automobiles. It's going to be very good for our economy. And yeah, a bunch of steel. Logging, that's what I mean. Some more iron as well. Some more gold mines to be done. More coal. Just lowering the prices of all these vital goods for us and not for the French is excellent news. Including livestock. I don't know why this doesn't sort the way I want it to. But I basically want these everywhere. There's huge amounts of space in here for these things, so let's just get them done. And huge dye plantation room as well. Excuse me. Let's get some of those being built. Ironclad unlocked, finally. Nice. Yeah, massive dye plantations. Room, just huge amounts of what am I trying to say? Agrable? Agrarian land? How do you put it? I'm feeling kind of fine on our ports right now. Oh, that's some society tech. Political agitation. Minimum expected standard of living. That's not a problem because we're way exceeding the minimums. More minting. More loan interest. Lower loan interest. More construction. Would be good. I don't think any of these actually give more construction. Telephone switchboards on government administration. Ooh. And mass surveillance. Does paved roads increase? Yeah, it's just construction sector max level and infrastructure. Infrastructure from population, actually. That's pretty good. That's going to help us, for sure. But would it help us as much as a combustion engine? Mechanized farming and... I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Let's get electrical railways, actually. Good. And no tax problems. Good. We do have a lot of flotillas in reserve. Where are they? Admirable. I think... yeah, there's some in the North Sea HQ. Pacific Coast, we don't even have a general. And then we need to promote the one for the North Sea, I think. And the one for Canada. You can get promoted twice. Now we shouldn't have any in reserve. Still some, huh? Where are they? Ah, right, because we didn't promote the Pacific guy. Pacific Coast dude. Welcome to promotion. Twice. We have plenty of bureaucracy, so it's not an issue. And then, still some in reserve. What? Where? North Sea again? Okay, I did build a lot in the North Sea, in fairness. Okay, and then battalions in reserve. Where? UK, that's fine. Get me a Canadian general. Great Plains, New England. There's not many of them in these regions, so I'm just going to leave them as reserves. Just defend the homelands. That's fine. Oh, hey, what's this? Radical Norway is trying to break off from Sweden. I could be swayed either way if I was offered a juicy offer. Also, we've got a very healthy profit right now. Let's increase the size of our production again. And also, it's probably going to be cheaper to do it in some of these states because they have cheaper wages, I bet. Some Sahara production so that we can build more power plants in Ireland. Make it make sense. God, I love that it takes so few weeks to do that. So you can really switch up your production systems very, very quickly. How much is going to increase it by, do we think? Maybe like 200? That's what I'm looking for. Because right now we're spending 700,000 on consumer goods. We could afford to spend 1 million. So we want like a 300 increase. Obviously they need to get staffed before it's actually going to take effect, which will take a couple of weeks. Okay, and I guess we just need to do some wars against France. If I took this province and this province off them, in all future wars, we could easily occupy all this land, because they'd have no port connections, I'm pretty sure. There we go. That's about the amount of extra expense I wanted on construction. Now, even with this huge deck of cards style production queue, we're still not capped. Now we are. That's with plus 37. Wow. Did that war against France at least hurt their GDP a bit? Yes, it slowed them down. Definitely slowed them down. That's good. How are we doing population-wise these days? 67. Another fun one to play, I think, might be Qing, because they have some real problems at game start, but they obviously have massive potential. I think we might try them. We have unlocked human rights, social security can go higher. Should I be doing more social security? I mean, how much are our welfare payments costing us right now? Like nothing. So I think this is just kind of pointless, because the fact that the welfare payments are so low means we're essentially paying very few people welfare payments. So just increasing the amount we're paying those couple of people doesn't really matter. Because standard of living is not... I mean, there is 600,000 here because of standards of living, but it's mostly the 300,000 who were fired from buildings recently. That's funny. Very similar vote share, so I'm going to keep the existing government. Oh, hello, Prussia. Italy, be my friend. I support your side on this. We need to try and stop Prussia from being out there. Workers of the world. No. These are going to turn off my organisers, unfortunately. Another uprising, huh? Good luck with that, buddy. Let's send in just a Canadian HQ to put them in their place. And their place is equally treated members of my glorious empire, but they have to be in the empire. Actually finishing building stuff, huh? How's the infrastructure situation? Not perfect. Let's work on that. It's bad in Maine, but I don't know why it's showing me that, because I don't own Maine. Market access in some of these places with some of our new areas, not so great. Easy to get under control though. Is auto expand really telling me that like there's nowhere that's profitable that needs expanding right now? It seems so unlikely. It's got room, like it's got, you know, double the construction capacity to go out there and get those new resources, but it does look like quite a few things are losing money, in fairness. You can do synthetic dyes in buildings. Okay. Where are they? Ah, right, yes, and steamships. Fantastic. Make way less clippers, which is going to make their price go way up, and way more steamers, which is going to make their price collapse. Not great, that. Civilian shipbuilding. Military shipbuilding. or extensive military shipbuilding. I think some military shipbuilding is probably a good idea, because we don't need that many steamers. But let's keep an eye here. Maybe we want to do some on some on the other, because, yeah, right now, ironclads are very inexpensive. Exceedingly inexpensive. So we don't need to make almost any at all. I think we should probably do, like, just East Anglia. You handle my military shipbuilding. Everyone else just do civilian. And I think overall that'll handle the situation, because steamers here are not that expensive. Is it working out this way because we're still using a bunch of clippers somewhere else? Yeah, like if I move this to... Okay, this is good. This will make the... This will work. Okay, because we're not making any man of wars anymore. Good. Ironclads successfully completed, which is an event, I think. God, freaking... Yeah, this is negative. This is negative, and I apologize for it, but... You have to wonder who built this game, played it, saw that you got the Rubber Rush event 50 times in a campaign if you do a big scramble for Africa, and was like, yeah, that seems good. Ship it. What? Who looked at that and was like, yeah, it's good design. Anyway, sure, give me new power projection. Give me some more steam-powered threshing machines. And... These are all already at their final form, and then we can go steam trawlers, which is going to get us, yeah, less clippers, because we're not making any clippers anymore, so it's not really going to work if we keep trying to use clippers. At which point I think we might find ourselves in a situation where we're seeing, yeah, so steamers are at a decent price now. What about ironclads? Pretty expensive. Very expensive. But that probably just means they're going to get... Let's just expand the ironclad yards as the reaction to that. There's that war, it's fine. And then motor industries. Making some decent cash, but we're still short on motors. So we're going to need yet another motor industry plant here in the West Country. Which I do want to... Where's it gone? I do want to auto-expand. Yes, please. Good. There we go. Now it's using way more of it. Getting some sulfur going. Yeah, ironclads. Oh, and oil is super expensive all of a sudden. Okay, let's not do it one at a time. Let's crank the oil production then. I guess that's because it's used to make ironclads. Another native uprising, huh? I suspect they shall live to regret that. We'll send in a... I'll send in the Pacific Coast HQ. Go deal with them. Any more colonies I can establish? Yes, indeed. A couple over here. Oh yeah, and how did we do down here? We did set up some colonies, didn't we? Yeah, they're still growing. Okay, cool. Prussia fighting away, as they are wont to do. Standard of living declining slightly. Not what I love to see. Yeah, we are seeing some losses being sustained. Qingdao. Okay, yeah. It's because they don't have sufficient market access. Which we can easily improve at a stroke by building a couple more ports. Let's throw some up over Canada as well. Ports before railways, I think, is good rule of thumb for infrastructure, because they do other things as well. Plus they cost less, or at least they seem to. Some people still want to enact censorship, huh? Petit bourgeoisie are losing strength, though. We could make another play for Parliamentary Republic. Let's give it a go. 45% chance to pass is pretty high. And we got 95 legitimacy. Bunch of people backing it. It's not even putting the Petit bourgeoisie to angry. They're just unhappy. Oh, by the by, we can stop paying the military, which will save us some cash. It's not saving us that much cash though, so I think I am going to pay the military and the government a bit more, because I think it will improve their standard of living. Because we are employing, we're employing a lot of people. Like, there's all these bureaucrats, clerks, labourers, all that stuff, who need their pay. In fact, if I actually paid the government normal amounts, we could get rid of the petit bourgeoisie xenophobia. But on the other hand, green number line go up, so we're not going to do that. Italy, love me. They really not keen on it. Gold rush, sure, spread the word. Okay, finally we've got Van Diemen's Land down to neutral. Oh, I can't annex them because we're in a war. Well, not for long, because I sent 49,000 to this one. They are holding because of the ridiculous bonuses they get. And yet another native uprising. Okay, you know what? We're gonna terminate with extreme prejudice on these uprisings now. Just send in big armies. We are lucky that the French are very stupid, because they're not developing. Yeah, the thing they've decided to build in Timbuktu, not coal mines, sulfur mines, livestock ranches, all this big stuff that's available down here, but a steel mill. They are doing some dye and tobacco plantations and banana plantations, which I'm not a fan of, but I'm not quite grasp the idea of centralizing. Our population is probably mostly going up because of our colonization efforts. If I take a look at the population here, can I see the pop over here over time? No? Migration is decidedly negative here. They are going to Washington, Ohio, Yukon Territory, Columbia, just all over the shop. Standard of living's pretty good though. Speaking of standard of living, let's take a zoom out here. How are we doing on standard of living versus, most of the world? Standard of living. Oh, we're killing it. We're absolutely killing it. Look how good the standard of living is in our parts of America versus the US. That's embarrassing. And we'll see if they cause problems here. What's the loss from... Oh, it's just prestige. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, if we can get Parliamentary Republic the first time and avoid a revolution to preserve the monarchy, that would be ideal. Can't do my annex play yet? No, because these darn native uprisings are just constantly slowing things down. But hey, they speed up the colonization, so it's hard to complain about them, really. We could build the Suez Canal, but I generally seem to think it's not worth it. It doesn't really seem to do much for you, in my experience. Stamp out monarchism. For 5 total years you do not have monarchy enacted and no civil war progress, then people who like monarchies will stop liking monarchies. Cool. To arms. The Metropolitan Railway. You have to have steel passenger trains and electric trains and a building level of at least 5 in the home countries. Okay. How about I one-up that and do it everywhere? Electric trains. It's going to cost us 41,000, but it's going to give us a 7,000 infrastructure bonus. Holy Christ. It's also going to crater the cost of transportation by spiking engines and electricity usage. Go for it. I will immediately complete that objective, yeah. The engineers deserve a reward. Home countries get 100% throughput and they become more loyalist to the engineers, or home countries get 100% throughput and we get renown. Yeah, the engineers deserve a reward, absolutely. And now I think we're going to have a motor industry boost. Look at that! 4,000. It's going to crater the price of it. Everything we do, every change we make, either spikes or craters the price of something. And we can finally go public traded on motor industries. And now I'm imagining the power plant's profits are going to go through the roof as well. We increased the throughput cap on scale to 40, didn't we? or maybe 30. So, oh, these are motor industries. That's not what I meant to expand, but we can expand them too. Power plants sort of meant to expand. So, I mean, let's go for it. The Irish, like, captured sun, which we're using to develop all the power in the whole nation, is going to get a substantial size boost to try and bring down the power of electricity. And yeah, occupations ongoing over here. No problems were had. Spread these guys out. Go down here. That would be good. Yeah, obviously. Completely trivial. And we are now going coast to coast on our African control, which is cool. Let's get some more railways. Anywhere that doesn't have a railway gets a railway. These places all already have them. Good. And then the fact that they're, you know, the new railways, the new hotness railways, is going to mean they're even more effective. Right, yeah, new tech. Combustion engine? Make the motor engines better, and we can get motorized reconnaissance for our barracks, which will be fun. Oh, what's this French war? They're going against Persia. They want to conquer a bunch of land and take a treaty port. Huh. Well, I'm too late to get involved now. It's a shame. I would like to. Annex them. And these guys should be annexed very soon, at which point I can finally annex Australia, which will give us another 3 million population. It's a pretty good boost. Plus, they're pretty literate over there. And we're still making our cap on that, which is good. They'll accept peace very soon, because they're getting 13 a day on the old exhaustion front. Yeah, those 20 weeks until we turn on the sun in Ireland. It is pretty funny that electricity doesn't have to be produced at least somewhat near, like transport does, or like infrastructure does, I guess. Because I think transport is actually still like a national market. Tools are kind of bad. Let's do a. Yeah, it's because the auto expander is expanding these as fast as it can. It's just not managing it. So let's put a tooling workshop in like all the remaining home areas which are currently not tooling it up, and then yeah, auto expand them as well. Because yeah, auto expand can only build one at a time. Unlike, you know, when you build like 10 levels or something, if you haven't noticed this, it does build all of them simultaneously. So US is fighting Mexico. No, no, no. Damn, Mexico doesn't like us enough for me to support them in this war. I feel like I should be able to muscle in and say, no, actually, I support you and there's nothing you can do about it. Already got level 1 across here? Nice. So, hey, Australia, you're all mine. And I very much suspect you're going to back down. Because even if everyone possible to back you, you just aren't numbered like 10 to 1. So I will mobilize John and send him over, but that's all I'm doing. Because, come on, Australia. Just, I mean, why wouldn't you want this? Look at the amount of investment I'm pouring into my country. Colossal international development and investment funds exist that can be yours for the low, low price of annexation. Economy is continuing to spike. I'm just comparing myself to France. Their growth is still impressive. The literacy rate is a little embarrassing. And I think we're about to become a republic. I'm calling it. We're going to win this vote. You watch. You just watch. In 48 days, we're going to abolish the monarchy. And yeah, there are people trying to support the monarchy. But as long as there's no revolution, I think they get over it. Just have to try and reduce the power of the petty bourgeoisie any way we can. Hey, Australia, you should back down. It's just a hint. A hint from a friend that has your best interests at heart. You should back down. don't know why it's not letting me scroll down. That's weird. Mobilize these guys. Where's that uprising? Oh, nice. It's going to give us a big chunk of Africa here without having to wait for the colonization, which is going to let us then push into... we'll be there in 6 days. I imagine maybe they get more intimidated when the troops are actually on the front. I mean, they're already worried. No one is supporting them. So, I don't blame them. I'm going to make a list of pointless events that fire too often. Hey, they back down. Shocker. Nice. Now, let's take a look at what resources we have here. Any oil? No. Sulfur? Some. Any logging? Some. I think it's not quite registered that we own it yet. Iron mines? Some. How you doing on your whole railway network? Non-existent. Okay. Give me a big port network too. And some tobacco plantations. Nice. Okay, that's gonna bump up our population a bit. Excuse me. Uh-oh, my tooltips aren't working. Let's refresh the game. It doesn't like the fact that I annexed Australia apparently. Yeah, while this game's reloading, let me make a list here. Events that are just totally pointless and annoying. Mickey 3. Pointless events. Rubber rush. Gold found. / gold lost. Just gives you more immigration than less immigration. Who cares? Are there any others? I think those are the main ones that just fire over and over. We now have a parliamentary republic. Excellent. Nice. Which means, yeah, trade unions are now ecstatic with us. Oh my, what is that flag? Why, it's the Hungarian flag. Isn't it? Why do we get the Hungarian flag? What the hell? Well, that's awful. I'm going to add that to my Victoria 3 modding document. Change. Less horrible. No offense, Hungary. Less horrible UK Republican flag. Like, we're our own type of republic. We don't need to go with the damn tricolour. Come on. It's such a boring flag design. Oh, the US is going against me. Why are you doing that? With no one supporting you? What are you smoking? I have so much infamy. Oh, I wish I'd noticed that sooner. Oh no, it's right at the beginning. Okay, yeah, no one's going to support you. What are you doing, America? Plus, New England might back me now. Boom. Got an alliance with New England now. Because I'm a republic, and they like that. America, what are you doing? I'll take your oil-bearing states off you. I don't know if oil goes in historical places, but... yeah, hello. I'm gonna take... I just want this treaty port. Give me the New York treaty port. And give me... How about make puppet? For 182. That's a bit excessive. Liberate country. New Africa? Liberate Texas? Yeah. Liberate. Yeah, the Mormons. Michigan. The Cherokee. Let's liberate the Cherokee. How many more I got? 40 more points. I could just conquer somewhere as well. Like Michigan. You got much industry in Michigan? Nope, none. All their industry is up here in the northeast, basically. What else do I want you to do? Add a war goal. Liberate. Sure, let Pueblo out as well. I'm just gonna keep making the US spit out nations. Mobilize everyone. We're not messing around here. We're gonna activate conscripts as well. This is a really fun system, by the way. Having to click on every single place you want to activate conscripts. Really, really well designed. Look, okay, I'm getting too negative, but it's a really, really badly designed system. Just give me a button that says activate conscripts. You have one for mobilize all generals. Why not have one for mobilize all conscripts? Seems obvious, no? Even the Sakhalin dudes. Come on in. Okay. Now, let's make them regret their words and their deeds. Oh yeah, right. Pay the military. Okay, you chaps. You advance the New England front. You chaps advance this front. Next big one's down here. And you can join them down here. And the rest, just defend this front, and then I'll move you to where you're needed on a case-by-case basis. These are the Tichy armies. And navies, let's raid all their convoys, because we have way more... Not a hostile spy network, really? Oh yeah, because they don't have an east coast. I forgot. I completely forgot that we had denied them their entire east coast. But you're not going to be able to have any contact with Europe by the time this war breaks out. Okay. If I put men on your front, by the way, would I just take them away? I got some allies going over there anyway. The Raj can handle it. I really thought I was going to annex India and just get like a massive population explosion. That would be fun. Can we just annex the Raj like in the normal way you do? Because that would be fun. We get 32 aggressive expansion. And we're too high relations. We could damage our relations and annex the Raj. That'd be fun. Oh, America back down? Wimps. And they gave me New York. They gave me half of the... this is Manhattan Island? Staten Island? I can't remember. Oh, they gave me the crap half. No offense if you live on this half. Got Niagara Falls though, plus 20% electricity output. You know what? I take it back. That's brilliant. I'm going to put a big electrical industry here. Sorry, power plant industry here. Get me a level 30 power plant. Excellent. And a port, and a couple of levels of railway to support it. And then we're going to just use this massive power plant to supply all of our North American needs. Wimps. So do we have a truce now? Yeah. So if you want someone, that's kind of OP. If you want someone to not attack you, all you have to do, by the way, that Louisiana Civil War is still going on. If you want someone to not be able to attack you, all you have to do is attack them, and then they'll only get one war goal against you. Oh yeah, I can't deactivate my conscripts until this war is over. They might back down too, I guess. You should definitely back down. Like, I have all my conscripts armies going for you. Let's take a look, actually, to decide our next tech. We're struggling on tools, opium. We're struggling on steel, actually. So let's get electric arc process next. Arc process, excuse me. And, yeah, patent stills. Nice. Vacuum canning, sure. Glassworks should be publicly traded. Tooling workshops should be publicly traded. And use assembly lines. They were using assembly lines before, right? Chemical plants, we can go to brine electrolysis. Sure thing. Even more explosives. Steel mills, publicly traded. Rotary valve. Assembly lines. Aha, we can do automobile production now. We're going to lose staggering quantities of money. Let's not do that then. I don't know what automobiles are for. They're used in barracks and conscription centres. Is that it? Ah, they are consumed by pops as well. I think we're not going to do... Can we avoid cars? That'd be sweet. We can actually just avoid using any cars. That'd be fun. Just more trains. The truly based nation building project where we use no cars and crap tons of trains. Hell yeah. Let's do that instead. Wheat farms. Which one of these is better? Probably is vineyards, actually. threshing and publicly traded and auto expand and auto expand. So this is all the new ones that we've just conquered, I guess, that are set up wrong. Mostly the Australian ones, I have to imagine, because there were barely any things in the actual bit of America we pinched. And then we got the new rail log carts and chainsaws, which is going to cost a stupid amount of money because of all the oil and tools. But that's okay. That'll just give us more motivation to work on better oil and tools, and we can finally refrigerate our fish. And better oil rigs, nice, which will really help with the whole oil deficit that I've just created for myself. We really only have these 2 places with oil. Let's just max it out. Give me all the oil that we have ever found. Get it out of the earth and into my economy immediately. And yes, here's the world's most one-sided war. Watch us now lose because it doesn't deploy enough men. Oh my god, it almost came true. Get wrecked, America. Yoinking a treaty port. Which now means we can trade with them if we want to. What do we have with significant export potential? Grain is 30% lower than the base price. Sure, you know what? Let's finally start... Well, should I finally start exporting some stuff? Make 21,000 a year. That's pretty good. But I want to keep it all for myself. I want to help my people. Because, I mean, they're middling in no small part because of, you know, the fact they're paying less for grain, which is good. It's fully 10% of their expenditure is all on grain. Spending 5% of all their goods on luxury furniture in the lower strata? Seems ill-advised, dudes. But I guess they're living it up, so don't hate. No, don't export rubber. Lots of Dixie people are moving to go and join the fun in the Irish, like, super generator land. How are we doing on electricity now? It's still expensive, even with all of this just astronomical stuff. Yeah, we're the world number 1 producer. Who else is making any? No one. It's just Ireland. Ireland, they're keeping the secret close to their chest on how it is you actually make electricity. Not a single other nation has cracked the code. We've been making electricity for like a decade now, maybe more. This is the problem the AI has there. They seem very bad on tech. For photographic art for arts academies. Cool. I think art's one of the things that's actually more expensive. Oh yes, and electric engines in all of those. Electric streetlights and public motorway carriages. Use them all transportation. We have the railway to support it now, I think. Even more fine art, covered markets. And universities should all be on the philosophy department. Dual promotion, sure. Captured by light and shadow. Plus 20% technology spread for society. Wow, that's powerful. Or 25% migrant attraction. I'm going to take tech spread. We don't need migrants. When we need more people, we just annex some of our subjects. It's the next level migration strat. Why migrate when you can annex? Ooh, what's this? Revolutionary Lang Fang. Oh, I thought it was a Chinese revolution, but doesn't look like it. What's going on in the Philippines? Oh, they never took the southern part. Interesting. Rubber rush. Wow. Rubber rush, rubber rush, rubber rush. Fantastic. Well, we could get some more rubber. Anywhere where there's not already a rubber plantation. Get it going. Losing money. Wow. Just because we're not actually getting the full investment fund transfer we could be getting because we're building so many railways. Well, no, surely they invest in railways. I'm not sure why it's not doing it then, actually. 393 investment. K, rather, investments. Pretty good. Oh, Belgian Revolution, huh? Belgium likes me, right? Not much. Hey, Belgium, you want to become my protectorate now that you're suddenly facing a revolution? No. 51. So there's, I guess... Yeah, the only way we'd be able to do it is if they change their strategy, really. I think. All these beautiful power plants. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, so there is support for restoring the monarchy, but we're making progress towards stamping out monarchism. Just need to get to 5 years. Right, there's the annexation. That will help the economy. And we can go off to air now. Beautiful. Oh, look, rubber rush. Shocker. I do like the soundtrack in this game. So, what should we do next? Annex another subject? Like Portugal? That would be a big fight. Dutch East Indies? Be a smaller fight. We could create some more puppets. Like Spain. It's too much infamy. Could do Sweden. People will get involved, but... could go after Norway. Other people might get involved. They might not. It's only 4... The thing is, though, like, it's 4 million GDP. That's the amount of GDP we made, like... very recently. We're making 18... Oh, hang on. Weekly GDP. Is this in change? Like, this is the amount of change per week? I thought this was the actual GDP. Can I not see a GDP chart? Okay. I had assumed this was just a degree of change, not... yeah. Interesting. God, I'm making so much money. I would like international investment. I think that'd be fun. Benin is conscripting. Peasant revolt. Rubber rush. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. Bit of an authority problem because of the whole Republican thing. You know what we could do? Yeah, let's do this. No more consumption tax on anything. Instead, we're going to do state edicts. We're going to encourage the manufacturing industry in our most productive lands. It's 38, 37, 43, 28, 32. We're getting up there in Ireland just from all the freaking rubber, but... Rubber? You know what I mean. Electricity. I think these are the most productive as of now. Excuse me. Yeah. Let's do that instead, and we should see cost of living skyrocket, because, I mean, how much are consumption taxes? I guess that depends on this setting. Yeah, 35%. So we just dropped the price of some pretty core goods by 35%. Let's see how much that increases the standard of living by. We're only 3rd worldwide. Who's ahead of us? Oh yeah, standard of living gets weird. Like Brunei and Montenegro are currently leading us. Seems unlikely, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that will actually really help the standard of living, and our economy is still killing it. It won't be permanently because we are going to start losing about 100k a week once the investment pool runs out, but still. And plus, of course, that's a huge boost to like the throughput here. Yeah, 20% boost to throughput is... I mean, look at that steel profits. Oh, those are sexy. We should open some new steel mills. Where don't we have one? Yeah, we should open a bunch of new mills in the ones that we're encouraging industrial industry and like the things that we're currently missing. So glassworks, for example. What else? Any of these without textile mills? No, they already have one, but this one doesn't have one. Tooling workshops. Already got size 8, size 9, yeah. But yeah, anywhere that doesn't have those any major industry that's not currently being done here should be done here, because this is where we have the production bonus, right? So makes sense to me. We probably don't have that many shipyards, do we? No. Let's get some new shipyards going. Don't subsidize tooling workshops or chemical plants. And yeah, auto expand as needed. Good. We're up to 70% literacy now. That's pretty good. I mean, that's higher than a lot of places now. So, I think we're doing pretty well there. And we're colonizing almost everywhere in the world that we can. Good stuff. What's going on down here in Argentina? Is there room for some livestock ranches, some farms, some dye? Let's make a bunch of dye here. I want some sulfur mines. There's some live. There's more sulfur. There's some stuff. There's some stuff. How about British Guiana? Yeah, some sugar. Kind of things you'd expect in the more hot parts of the world. Any other laws we want to change? Yeah. What about tax? Ooh, you know what? Some people do back this. We have. So right now we're on flat land and capital tax, and then 15% income tax rate, 35% consumption. If you want to graduated, you eliminate the per capita tax, the poll taxes, but you implement a 40% dividend tax rate. Well, that's a very helpful tooltip. I would like to submit the. I would like to make this submission for the world's least helpful tooltip. So I mean, I guess that means on people's profits because they own buildings. So right here, it's publicly traded, which means the capitalists own the textile mills. So if you look at the home countries, this is what it's making. Its weekly balance is 63, which means, again, a certain amount of it is going to the investment pool, and a certain amount of it is going in dividends. Okay, so dividends, these balances are paid out to pots with ownership shares as dividends. This source of pop income is subject to dividend taxes. Depending on the current economic law, some part of these dividends may be allocated to the investment pool, while the remainder goes to pop needs and pop wealth. Okay, so if we... What you're telling me is if I were to tax dividends, we would get less... because right now we're at 15% income tax rate. This would raise it to... No, it's still 15, okay, but then there'll be a dividend tax rate of 40%. So I imagine if we tax 40% of the dividends, they'll put less into the investment pool. So who backs this? It says backed by 2 interest groups. Armed forces and trade unions. Okay, so we're going to reform the government. So we're just the armed forces and the trade unions. She's going to lower our legitimacy and give us, some radicals. Maybe we'll keep these guys in. Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep them in. So everyone but the petit bourgeoisie, they can just get bent, basically. And then, still 19%, but we'll be able to do it fast because of the legitimacy. And I think we're going to go to graduated taxation. What's the difference here? This is okay. So proportional taxation is actually lower income tax, but lower dividends. Whereas this is lower income, but higher dividends. I think that's actually what I want to do. My government is now rich enough to do all the investment that I need to do. More or less. I mean, right now, admittedly, our economy is being propped up by 1.6 million. But let's do this. Industrialists dislike it. Petit bourgeoisie really dislike it. But that's good. I mean, this is more money, but not higher income tax. And less, no land caps and per capita tax is going to be good for the lower classes. So let's do this. 19% chance to pass is low, but let's give it a go. And I'm hopeful we can get back up to the investment pool contribution just from the number of loyalists that we're getting, because, I mean, it is trending up. We're riding the edge a little bit on government administration. So let's take a look. Anywhere short on tax capacity? Yes, a bunch of places. 2 in East Anglia. Well, let's just do 2 in all of these. West Country, Munster, Midlands, Leinster. Okay. That should do it. And a native uprising against us. Someone else wants to speed up the process of their colonization. By all means. Yeah, and that did... the investment pool has now run out. We're still getting plenty, though. So we can't see, really... Yeah, based on the current... Oh, no, sorry, it's based on the economic system law. Okay, so it's interventionism that means we get the... okay, they put 25% of their dividends into it. But the thing is, they're putting 25% of their dividends into it. But if we just take 40% of their dividends, then, you know, it's the same, except I can spend it on stuff that's not... you know, I can spend it on other stuff apart from investment, which is good, because it just gives me more freedom. Plus, if we were on laissez-faire, we'd have 50%. That's kind of tempting, actually. Although I guess funds from the investment pool can be do less stuff. No, you can still do lots of things. What did I just invent? Roaring engines. More automobiles, more public transportation. No, more public transportation. we're gonna do a no car run, I think. Telephones and radios. That's just to help people's standards of living, basically. Yeah, look at that standard of living rise after we got rid of those consumption taxes. Beautiful stuff. We should probably get some more of this. I mean, chemical warfare is still a way off yet, but will become relevant in the fullness of time. Maybe elevators for that infrastructure per person. Seems like a good pick. And they back down, so we yoinked all of that. Does that give us access to anywhere else? No, just only 2 more places to colonize in the whole of Africa. But we aren't already colonizing that, anyway. Okay, who else am I hurting opinions with? Dutch East Indies. Stop doing that. Should we annex Dutch East Indies? There's probably a bunch of people living there, right? 10 million. Substantial. Yeah. Let's annex the Dutch East Indies. Mobilize all the generals. And let's see who's going to back them. Maybe no one. That would be good. I mean, no one consequential. That would be very good. And we will be able to get... they're moving against us now, but we might be able to sway a few people to our side. And yeah, we might have to face Siam. Oh, no, they are willing. We will offer them a treaty port against Tildor. Sure, have them unlock us treaty port. By all means, Spain. By all means. And yeah, it looks like everyone else is just going to stay out of it. Apart from, who's this? Siam. Ah. How much infamy do I have? I have plenty of infamy cap right now. So you know what, Siam, I'm going to make you regret joining by making your puppet. How's that? Anyone else feel like joining? Anyone else want to get in on this action? I suspect no. U88. Advance. Around here. You pick 49 can come down here. U21 can come over here. Good. That should do it. Everyone else still staying out of my business? Looks like it. Oh, who's this that's joined? Barley, huh? Titchy little Barley. Oh, hey, Barley. Welcome to the war. Would you like to become my puppet? I suspect you wouldn't, but I don't care. Anyone else? Bunch of titchy guys. Sure. I think I'm out of... yeah, I'm out of diplomatic plays, sadly. So that's all the ones that we can puppet. So no one else joined, because I can't punish you for it. And then... Hey, we successfully marginalized rural folk. Excellent. Get some convoy raiding going, so these guys can't effectively supply any of their armies, except the ones directly connected to their homelands. Have a couple extra raiders over here. Good. And with the yeah, the Spanish support will be kind of helpful. And yeah, still no one major going against us. France is busy Ching apparently has better things to be doing. Can't really blame them. And quality of living continues to rise. Number 2 worldwide now. Excellent. Any institutional changes I can make? No. We could start toning down our colonial affairs. How much are we spending on colonial affairs? 3,100, huh? I mean, yeah, once we finish up colonizing Africa, we can turn it off. Temporary embarrassment. I'll lose 10%. Yeah, we'll do some temporary tax cuts. Whoa! That was a pretty big hit to our finances. We're going to do some temporary tax cuts to make this go through, sure. And stop improving relations with these guys. They're all happy enough. Why does Austria keep disliking me? Probably from the warmongering. Now I think about it for half a second. It's probably the warmongering. I do not like that it keeps zooming me up for some reason. Oh, and there's some... Yeah, the landed gentry and the petty bourgeoisie really don't like the idea of graduated taxation. Well, tough. It's fair, and I don't care about your opinion. Let's get some of these guys pushing some empty fronts. Yeah, wherever there's an empty front, we can just send some guys in. War has broken out. Fine by me. Let's see what their tech's like over here. Fine, mine is now fully employed. Their tech is not very good. Good. Look at that. Teacup. We're number 1 in the world. Let's go. Nice. The lowest strata is very nearly double their minimum expected. It's a beautiful thing. Plus, we're about to hit 1 billion GDP. Look at that freaking line. That is a parabolic growth. And people are so concerned about graduated taxation, they've forgotten to campaign to prevent... get monarchy back. Nice. Yeah, colonization going on fine over here. Philosophical pragmatism, lowering the bureaucracy cost modifier, and you can barely even see the impact it had. 100 extra, wow, so generous. Oh, barley's actually making some gains here. Let's send some boys in and prevent that from going any further. And yeah, suddenly they're like, oh crap, halt the offensive, they've shown up. Any decisions I want to do? Grand expedition. Have to be at peace. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Seems fun. In the path to liberalism, we need better suffrage. Yeah, sure, we'll push for that. Oh, that's right, I forgot, we've become a republic, but we still have a republic where only the rich can vote. We could move to anarchy. Universal political strength, plus legitimacy. Way less authority. Another native uprising. Really? You think now is your moment? It's not. Spoilers. And yeah, pushing them back. All over here. It's going to take a while to push our way through here. But yeah, I mean, with Bali is not... it's not the most technically advanced country. So... we shouldn't have too much trouble pushing them back there. We'll see. We'll see. That whole temporary tax break we had to apply is, yeah, a little damaging. But hey, it gives us, puts us up to 26% enactment rate, which is pretty good in my book. And we're winning 7 versus 14 here. That's how much better our dudes are. Pretty nice. And these 5 should go and hold them over here. Right, yeah, I'm adding that to the list. Such and such migration. Pointless. Pointless event. Get rid of that. I'll mod that out, I think, probably. Really doesn't add anything, having that pop up and go do, 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 repeatedly. In my opinion. Still could do with some more men. I guess once we finish wrapping up down here, we can move them up here to push into Siam. But really, it's just we should be appreciative to Siam for giving this unrivaled opportunity to just yoink them as a subject without anyone else getting involved. We still have plenty of subjects to annex after this, by the way. I mean, look at all these puppets. But, yeah. Oh, did I actually... I don't think I did my building over here when I was integrating Australia into the ways of our great nation with our no-car, massive public transit process. Oh, yes, right. Do it. I'm going to need more electricity, though. Electricity 0 to 33, let me guess. The one in New York is making no money. Yeah, because it's got no employees. Why not? Because no one lives here, probably? I probably didn't check. I should have checked that, huh? Yeah, there's 71,000 people here total. Knock it down, boys. Knock it all down. And instead start a small iron mine. Taxation is theft. No, it isn't, you idiots. Short-term tax restrictions, another minus 10% tax rate. Sure. Fine. Pushing in there. Pushing in there. Dangerous equipment. It's just in Arizona. So, sure. We'll slow down some production for a bit. The industrialists are already a little bit peeved at me anyway. Oh, oh, oh! Are you ready? Are you ready? We're gonna pass $1 billion. Hey, billionaire! New achievement. 1.0 billion. Hell yeah, buddy. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Oh, did we annex Bali? Right, which sent all my men down here. It's not really what I want, where I want them to go, but... I love democracy. A 100% vote for the Pellet Party. Fantastic. Both of which who back my lord, right? No, it's just the trade unions that back it. But with 100% vote for the trade unions, sorry, for the Pellet Party, I can probably kick out the armed forces. Use advice, yeah, so they're not interested. And the Pellet Party are a reformer, so presumably they back it. No, they don't. And market liberal, they probably don't. But if we kick out the armed forces, it'll increase the legitimacy, which should at least increase the speed at which we can try and enact it. And here's their actual big army being steadily pushed back. 2v6, it's not a fight I'm likely to win though. Oh, look at that radical reduction. Let's go. Presumably it's tanking because of increased costs of living. Yeah, the number from standards of living is pretty low. Still 400,000 from being fired from buildings, which is pretty funny. But yeah, the increases in standard of living is great stuff. Getting rid of those consumption taxes was brilliant. We may see some problems emerge as a result, but... Oh good, mandate migration again, huh? Everything's still expanding. We've successfully puppeted Bali. Got 2 armies here. Don't need the smaller one. Let's send you somewhere else. Like here. I really don't like this flag. Like, it's just the Hungarian flag. Who decided to put green on it? Who sat down to themselves and said, you know what the British flag needs? Green. Sorry, Welsh. You get the... I've actually forgotten what part of the Union Jack the Welsh bit is. Sorry. Oh, it's pretty funny though, you have to admit. Not that there is a Welsh bit, to be clear, that I have forgotten what it is. Surprise! We're here with 100 defense to your 1 offense. Nice. That's quite the growth. Oh, if you hover over it, you can see it worldwide as well, I think. We can see what tiny impact other areas have on that graph, because it's just all us. 14%? Oh god, the trade union's clout is plummeting. Why is that? Loads of generals are parts of the intelligentsia. How can I prop up the trade union's wealth? Well, actually, I guess passing this bill is a big part of it. We could still get it done. We'll just need a few more events to fire in our favour. Do some more income tax rates cuts. We're currently collecting no income tax, which is... I mean, it's a funny way to raise the income tax rate, isn't it? By temporarily collecting no interest, no income tax. But hey, we make do. We make do. Okay, pushing in here. Good stuff. Yeah, broken them there. U5. Sorry, I know my commentary's suffering slightly. I need to end this episode, really, but I just want to finish this war first. Just one more war. Oh, I've just realised who this flag is. That's them. Okay. Following war goals were enforced on Spain. What? Who invaded Spain? Why is my war support so low? Enemy controls all their war goals. Did Spain get occupied? That's hilarious. Spain, how'd you manage to have that happen? There's more infrastructure per level. That's great. Yeah, construction sector throughput, sure. Well, we need to hurry up then. We're getting them here. At which point, I guess if I rush into Siam, that would help. Where are my guys around here? Surely I had some guys on this front. No? Where'd they get sent? They all here? No. A bunch of them inactive? Yeah. Oh god, I got 100,000 doing nothing. Come here, see if we can. And let's cheat it a bit. Just have them arrive immediately. Push yourselves in there as fast as possible, and you guys attack on this front, and then defend this front, and then attack this front. We need to get some progress here. You two go here. Quick as you can, boys. Quick as you can. We need some headway, and we need it now. Okay. Now everyone's assigned again, at least. And yeah, some pretty stomping offensives here. Max port level, nice. Anything in the journal? Stamping out liberalism, good. Not liberalism, sorry, monarchism. Read both these events together. But yeah, that's not good. We're losing 2.4 a week. That's not good at all. We have to get their... we have to get the war goals occupied, otherwise we're going to be forced out of this war, which would be nonsense, because I'm clearly winning. But they're holding a fair amount of the land. Why are these fights going so badly for us? Are we at low morale? No. I'll send them from somewhere else. Let's get these guys to naval invade or something. Which general is this? Thomas Braille, who's the Pacific Coast guy. So the Pacific Coast guy. No generals which can support naval invasion because I need to wait for this battle to end. Okay. But this is going to be close, because if they win, they get independent. Which would be bad. Very bad. And they're clearly losing. Like, I've occupied a bunch of their land, they've occupied none of my land. Right? It just makes me... Oh, okay, good. Yeah, they haven't launched a massive invasion of the US or something. As soon as this battle ends, I'm going to launch a naval invasion. If we can land the naval invasion near their capital, that would turn things around. Where is their capital? It is West Java. Okay. Go on. I happen to lose the war. Okay, are we pushing them here at least? Yeah, slowly, slowly. Not quick enough. 0% success rate, by the way. Ugh. Alright, well, we'll have to cancel that. We'll do a different law in the meantime. Like universal suffrage. Which will give the labour unions way more power, because we'll have more Oh crap, I didn't realize it's going to radicalize the industrialists. That's pretty bad. Minus 20% manufacturing tax income. Well, that's not too bad actually, because we're not collecting any taxes right now. Okay, so you four. I need the Pacific Coast Navy to do a naval invasion of West Java as soon as possible. And you guys should all be... Why aren't you reading convoys? Oh, because there are no hostile supply networks anymore, basically. We did manage to enforce the war goal on Siam, but that's still not enough. My god, man. Where have they all gone? They're here. Okay, you 100. Come advance here. And then defend here. And then advance here. Of course, as soon as I leave, the freaking Portuguese show me how it's done and deploy 2,000 men at once. Okay, who else is in transit here? Philip Welby, who's a Canadian. Give me a Canadian naval invasion of South Sumatra. It's going to be so close. I can't believe I might lose this war. Why? Hang on. You're not supposed to be able to lose war exhaustion below 0. Oh, because the enemy... Right, unless they control their war goals. Yeah, okay. But this war has only been going on for a couple of years. Not even that. And yet, somehow... feels kind of like nonsense if they're just going to get independence. After just like... Well, yeah, we held on for like 40 weeks. So... without you taking your war goal, even though you were winning handily. Okay, we've broken them here. Like, we're won on every front where we actually border them. It's all occupied. It's just that there's no crossing here. When are we landing? 12 days? It's going to be so freaking close, dude. I'm going to be mad. The Dutch East Indies, can I see what they're producing? Like, is this going to flood the world with loads of rubber that I've previously had a handle on? I really hope not. Please land successfully. Please. Please. It's gonna come down to the freaking wire. Please, dude. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Please. They have to land... Oh my god, it's gonna be like... Oh, you bastards. It was by like 3 days. Oh my god. Oh, well, we got Siam at least. You gits. You bastards. Alright, well. We're gonna have to get them next time, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure to have you with me. I will see you all in the next episode, where we will give those bastards what for, and universal suffrage will help us get proportional voting, proportional taxation, rather. Thanks for watching. See you next time. God, that's always like 2 days away. Oh my god.